What's up, guys? It's Lord Both here with another video, and we have James Bond news. This comes to us from the AP, but pretty much every source is reporting it now. It's entitled, Amazon MGM takes creative reins of James Bond, ending an era of family control of 007. In a James Bond shakeup that stirred the film industry, Amazon MGM announced Thursday that the studio had taken the creative reins of the 007 franchise after decades of family control. Longtime Bond custodians Michael G. Wilson and Barbara Broccoli said they would be stepping back. Amazon MGM Studios, Wilson and Broccoli formed a new joint venture in which they will co-own James Bond intellectual property rights, but Amazon MGM will have creative control. So basically, they all own the intellectual rights to James Bond, but Amazon is 100% in charge. Amazon bought MGM Studios in 2022 for $6.1 billion, a purchase that was significantly motivated by the acquisition of one of the movie's most beloved and long-running franchises. Since the Daniel Craig era of 007 concluded with 2021's No Time to Die, Broccoli and Wilson have reportedly clashed with Amazon MGM over the direction of Bond. Yes, basically the clash, from what we all know, is Barbara Broccoli, for the most part, she's at least the loudest voice on all this, does not want Amazon to have the control because she didn't want them turning James Bond into a black female lesbian. She's come out numerous times and said, oh, this is about my family's legacy and not wanting to lose sort of the identity of what James Bond actually is. But apparently that has changed. Maybe they found some kind of, number that she liked in terms of a payout to make her step back. And she is, getting pretty up there with age. Her brother's even older than her, and he almost has nothing to do with the franchise anymore. I will say No Time to Die was, I wouldn't rank it among the most popular James Bond movies. I mean, I personally don't think Daniel Craig has had a good James Bond movie since Casino Royale, which I thought was really good, but Quantum of Solace was a big nosedive in quality, I felt. And the rest, I just didn't feel even bothered to actually go see. And you also get the distinct feeling that Daniel Craig did not like James Bond. He did not want to play James Bond and was only coming back for the money. He was just going through the paces. I mean, some of the scenes I've seen from other movies, it felt like Daniel Craig was acting like James Bond the same way Robert Pattinson was acting like Edward in the Twilight series. Just an actor that absolutely hates his character, that's only doing it because he's contractually obligated. That said, there's now a lot of people that have, really start to become concerned with the way James Bond is going to move now. Whether or not they are going to be forced to accept a black, lesbian, genderqueer person as James Bond. But one interesting thing was posted on X Twitter today, which was Jeff Bezos coming out and literally just asking the public, who do you pick as the next James Bond? And of course, people had an array of different answers. One of the most popular ones, as you can see here from Nerdrotic's post, is Henry Cavill. I mean, when you think of James Bond, Henry Cavill kind of just exudes everything about that British spy sense. He's handsome, he's charming, he's sophisticated, and he really, really is well known for respecting the source material and wanting to do the best job with the character that he plays in every single role that he picks up. That said, I almost feel like Henry Cavill is a bit too on the nose for James Bond. He's also, I think, slightly too old to play the role, but someone that's almost around the same age, but a little bit younger, and I think is also a good fit, was the person that I posted, which is Theo James. Theo James from The Gentleman and the Divergent series of movies. I think he really came into his own in The Gentleman. There were definitely scenes, especially like the party scene where he's wearing the tuxedo and he's in a fight and gets stabbed by a bad guy. Spoilers for you a little bit. He definitely looked and felt a lot like James Bond there. And I said right here, Theo James is the obvious correct choice. He's the right age. He's British. Weird that I have to qualify that, but I really do have to qualify that. Because there's some thoughts of picking non-British actors, like picking American actors or even Irish actors like Cillian Murphy. Which, don't get me wrong, I like Cillian Murphy. I also don't think he's really kind of classically handsome enough to play James Bond. I think he might be a little too old. And also, and this is kind of a big sticking point, he's Irish. I went on to say, and he proved he has the acting chops and ability to do classic, sophisticated, and stoic yet charming personality of Bond. Also, he should be affordable. And that is something to not overlook here. Amazon spent $6.1 billion on acquiring MGM. They've also doled out well over another $1 billion on making Rings of Power. Now, no one is saying here that Amazon is some cash-strapped company. They got billions to burn, baby. But why not take a good, affordable choice when you have it? And I think Theo James is a really, really good, affordable choice to play Bond. Also, there are a lot of people that are worried, like I said, that this series is going to go into a really weird, woke direction. And all I can say is maybe. Because Amazon has produced some really garbage TV shows and movies. Like I said, Rings of Power, which is woke, weird, and full of shipping. But they've also turned out things that were really good. The Terminal List, Reacher, stuff that was high-octane, testosterone-filled success stories that were far more traditional in a sense in terms of action adventures. So is it a definite that Amazon is going to produce a terrible James Bond film? No, I don't think that it is. They could produce a pretty good James Bond film. It just depends on who at Amazon is going to be involved. And the people actually running everything in terms of the narrative at James Bond for Amazon is, then we'll know a lot more of what direction this is going to go in. But those are just my thoughts on all this. If you have your own thoughts, go ahead and leave in the comments. If you like this video, go and like, share, and subscribe. If you didn't like this video, I appreciate you watching all of it, and we'll talk to you again later.